You like that little weird smiley name? That was pretty good. Holy moly. You know what, you guys? I'm not one to write speeches. I usually just wing it, but I got a document here, you guys. It's going to blow your minds here. So, I got to do a little bit of reading. Holy. You know what? We all know who they are. They said we could never do this. They said we weren't big enough. They said the National Hockey League would never come back to win. Take a look around you right now. Take a look around you. This is what happens when you dream big, when you think big, you achieve big. Tonight is a little surreal moment for me. Much like the press conference that we just saw there on Tuesday. But this one's a little more personal for me. All of you followed me through thick and thin, and at times, even though it seemed that it looked bleak, you guys stayed the course with me.
Yeah, that's true.
I asked you to trust me, you did. And now many of you already have your tickets reserved. In 2011, 2012. It's crazy to even say that. And by the end of the weekend, quite likely we will have virtually sold out an entire arena. All the duration between games 1 and 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And you know what? I personally could give two shits whether the Vancouver Canucks win or not. Yes, indeed, they do. So, it's incredible how many things we got right on Jetsowner.com. Basically, virtually, all of them. The last month may have been more agonizing than the past 8 years combined. And I tried my best to keep all of you sane throughout it all. I knew one thing. I wasn't concerned with Glendale politics anymore. Because it didn't matter anymore. They weren't our destiny. Sorry, were you? Who likes Family Guy out there? So the Coyotes were not our destiny. True North. Something dark side. Something complete. Thank you. Had to get that out of there. I've been called every name in the book, but it is all moot now, isn't it? Part of me is sad that this chapter is closing. As I had all of you to click on every night when I needed to scour through dozens of articles about anything NHL relating to Winnipeg each night. Some of them very irrelevant, yet grasping for anything 6 ways to separation. I'm a Kiss fan. I think you guys are talking about Paul Stanley for a second. I began providing you guys with info, and in the end, it was you guys that kept me in the loop. I couldn't keep up. There are many memorable moments along this journey. Too far to begin telling you now, too many of them to begin telling you now. But I did manage to forge some incredible relationships with some very key people in the city, and for that alone, I am very grateful. So many people ask me, how do you do something like this? And I tell them it's a six-pack. One, you have to know your city inside and out, upside down, all around. You have to know how it operates. You have to know the people, what the people are like, and how to get what you want out of them. Two, you need to exercise control, have diplomacy, take the high road as much as possible. Okay, Kincaid pissed me off a little bit. But did you see that shiny white grin that guy was closing in? I don't know. Three, you need to have, to borrow a Elaine Bennis' term, a vault. You need to have the ability to take sensitive information, keep it locked up no matter how much the desire to release it drives you insane. 4, you need to have thick skin, like elephant thick skin. Nothing can stick to you, it must bounce off you. 5, you need patience, lots of patience. Because I had to tell all of you to stay patient while I was trying to keep myself patient. And you can imagine what a guy like Mark Chipman had to go through while trying to run an operation in a hockey club as it was. And finally, most importantly, you need conviction. You have to believe in what you're doing so much that nobody can take you off your course. You have to believe without a shadow Davis of a doubt that what you are preaching will come to fruition. After the countless hours of research, replying to hundreds of emails a week, updating web pages, conducting interview after interview, spreading our gospel, it was all worth it and more. Sitting there in that press conference as Gary Bettman, Mark Chipman, and David Thompson entered the room in front of 150 members of the national media, and a media wall with an NHL logo and a True North logo, was an out-of-body experience. My Jets life passed before my eyes, going to all those games with my dad, the wins, the losses, going through the whole summer-long ordeal in 1995 to end up losing the team. All the emotion came flooding back. Thankfully, I kept it together. After all, I was personally invited by our new owner himself. Gotta stay cool, right? There are so many people I'd like to thank, beyond all of you, of course. Thank you, David. Some immediate ones that come to mind are Jeff Powelson of Sleeman Breweries. Let's give it up for Sleeman. For relentlessly planning this event and taking so much off my shoulders. Some of those early events I threw down there killed me. Jen Walker of Foreplay for insisting that True North get this deal done so we could throw this dash already. This event has been quite a moving target. It has been moved week after week after week. So, my beautiful son Jake for inspiring me to start this idea of Jake's Tickets. And send many kids to NHL hockey that normally would be able to see their heroes live in action. Exactly who I decide to partner up with is yet to be determined, but just know each year I plan to throw an event to raise money for this goal, and I hope all of you will continue to support me through that. It gives us all the chance to stay in touch as we return to the Jets members and the ones who believed all along. Thanks to Shadow Davis for coming down to work the mic and keep it alive. Oh, this was written beforehand. Thanks to Mayor Sam Cates for not coming. We'll have to have a talk about that. Yes. Sean Charlie for the great auction prizes up top. If you haven't seen them, you've got to go up and check out those prizes. You've got to bid on them. There's some phenomenal and very unique stuff going on there. I'd like to thank Alex Snell, who tirelessly policed the chat boards, which at times can be very challenging. If he ever banned you, go easy on him. Alex also threw together the video you just saw, so that was incredible. I thought that was something else. Alex was a regular member of the boards, like so many of you, when I began to realize that he knew things that I could confirm were true. I asked that he keep them under wraps, and he did. At that point, I knew I could trust him to man the boards, as they were becoming too much for me. We also had Tom, otherwise known as Vivian, who also helped with this task, and I thank him as well. A little bit of love from New York City. Along the way, there were several individuals that had some pretty heavy info that I asked them to keep off the boards, as it would not benefit the process to leak it out. All of them complied. They know who they are. Thanks for having the vision to understand the ramifications of some of this info. Thanks, I love you too. Thanks to, I got a lot of man love this past year, I gotta tell you. If you guys got girlfriends, I wouldn't mind a couple hugs from them. Thanks for having the vision to understand. Thanks to all of you who helped me hand out stuff outside the NHL exhibition games. No more exhibition, well, there's going to be exhibition games, but there's going to be 4 of them. Jen Hobart, who is not here, but she was helping out all night. Jiffy, as we all know her, she was helping out the VIP door. And Chris Mackey and Phil Bonneville for tackling the deeper side of the number crunch on Manitoba Mythbusters and flogging that banner all over Hell's Half. Another guy that was here earlier and supporting, that allowed me to carry out some very cool stuff, was Jason Wagner of Track It Back. I received a call from Jason one day and I thought to myself, oh boy, another one. I often had calls from people who had many ideas which, shall we say, weren't very good. Jason, however, took me to dinner and was so enthusiastic about helping out any way he could. Next thing I knew, Jetsowner.com had an online store for purchase home and away t-shirts and bumper stickers, and then he produced 10,000 two-sided color glossy sheets and information on what tickets might cost to hand out outside the exhibition games. Next, he had 10,000 fridge magnets to hand out, and this was all done on his dollar and his company's dollar, and he never asked for a logo once. I insisted that he put his company in there. He never asked me once. Thanks to Jason for allowing Jetsowner.com to do a lot of cool things. Another selfless helper was Lauren Robb, although I have not heard from Lauren since she joined the Power 97 CGOB team. It really does affect me, to be honest with you. But I refuse to omit him for my thanks. Lauren took my ideas for a better website and made them come to life. He even entered 4 years worth of back posts, which was no easy task. Remember, I used to post every other day, so now it's what, once every 3 months. Before that, there was Bruce Tulla, Beer for Breakfast. He gave me a web space to branch so I could build a half-assed website, and cutting and pasting code was my life for 2 years. I'd like to thank my parents and the rest of my family and my brother for always believing in what I was trying to do. Sorry, guys. Which was... Oh, to my mom, my brother, wow. Which was, sorry. Well, I better wrap this up, you guys will fall asleep. To create a hub for information on exactly how we could regain an NHL franchise, a place where all of you could come and not feel completely stupid for believing in the same thing. Thanks to the members of the media that didn't mock me, but rather backed the entire concept. Here's the Balkan. Finally, JB. Thanks, JB. Thanks, JB. Finally, I really need to talk about Mark Chipman. I don't know where to begin, really. I can tell you I'm a better person for knowing him and how he operates as a businessman and as a human being. He's got bigger things to do than mayor. He's got to win a Stanley Cup. Very early on, as bold as I was, I arranged to meet with Mark at the old Winnipeg Arena. A meeting was arranged and Jim Ludlow sat in, almost as if to make sure they didn't have a nut job on their hands. Of course they did. So, here I am, 26 years old, earning $10 an hour at a wine store, telling these two men how I thought I had figured out the path to get back into the NHL. What the hell was I thinking? Whatever it was, it seemed to work because many years, many meetings, and many lunches later, I sit at Tim Hortons at MTS Center sipping on a double-double just hours before the biggest press conference in our history, pondering what it would like to be there. Just then I got a text to come meet Mark at security. As I enter the registration table, Mark bypasses Darren Drager, tells security to give me full access, and personally escorts me in the most surreal moment in my life, aside from my son being born. And all this not 45 minutes after drying the ink on a $170 million purchase of an NHL franchise. And yet, he didn't forget about me. He didn't forget about us. That's just one example of Mark's loyalty that I wanted to share. The rest of them I think I'll keep to myself. But I wanted to thank Mark Shipman and True for having the same vision that we did. Doesn't that feel nice to say did instead of no, man? Only with the wherewithal and savvy to actually get it done. It turns out our Jetsowner was right in our own backyard all along. And my attitude towards the AHL product changed a great deal because of that. Getting that wink and smile in the middle of that presser that you just saw was something else that I'll never, ever forget. I know I'm forgetting someone or many people as it's been an 8-year ride, but there are so many stories to share, but know this, I will never forget all of you and believing in me. I will never, ever forget it. Hey, Karen, sweet It kept me going, and to those of you that ridiculed me, some to this day, I thank you even more. For it was you that kept the gas in my tank. I'm a stubborn son of a bitch. And you telling me that it wasn't possible made me want it that much more. I'd be lying if I didn't say the victory isn't a little that much sweeter. But hey, remember, always the high road. This campaign ended 8 years to the day it began. I call it my 8-year itch. Our next task, that's easy. StanleyCupOwner.com! Thanks you guys, have a great night, thanks for coming. We did it! We did it! Darren Ford, everybody. Amazing. Wow. Does anybody know what it feels like to be a Winnipegger who doesn't live in Winnipeg? Fuck the Balkan. No, seriously guys, quickly, I'm going to tell you a quick story here. I left Winnipeg for 10 years, went and lived in... No. Guys got to keep working. I went and lived in Calgary for a couple of years, then I went to Kingston, Ontario. Hang on.
Everyone's listening.
I'm a Winnipegger. You cannot take the Winnipeg out of the eye. You can't. And so one very cold morning in Kingston, Ontario in 2004, I was feeling very homesick and I Googled Winnipeg. Yeah! And the first page there is the city of Winnipeg, there was Winnipeg, you know, the Wikipedia, whatever the fuck. And then this thing came up, WinnipegJetsowner.com, so I clicked on that. And I went, what, did they get the team back? What did I miss? It was Darren's site, Jetsowner.com, that I saw living in Kingston 7 or 8 years ago. And so I followed that website, and I never told you this. I had you on my show 3 times since I've been back. I never told you this. That kind of got me going, wow, it's quite possible that we might get a team back one day. And then I moved back to Winnipeg, and I really started following that site, and it really started becoming possible. And this is the guy that got me going all those thousands of miles away about the team, and that was 7 years ago. Darren did that. You did that for me, so thank you. Thanks very much. And it was a nice piece of home to have when you're not living in Winnipeg, but you want to be. Jeff Paulson from Sleeman Breweries, come on up here, bud. You got something to present to our man here. JB.
Hello, well, thanks very much for being here. It's a phenomenal night. We can't believe it finally arrived. Darren and I started talking about this event 8 years ago, yeah. 8 years ago I was a troll, I'll admit that. 100% I was a troll. I didn't actually join the boards until a few years ago. Bandwagon feels fantastic, yeah. Come on, give it to me. Troll, 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 troll. But when Darren started the website, I was living in Edmonton, and similar to Shadow, I'm a born and bred Winnipegger. Hang on, let's get this right. I was living in Edmonton at the time, and similar to Shadow, I Googled Winnipeg Jets and saw Darren's website, and immediately became a lifelong follower. And we ran a couple events in Edmonton that Darren helped me out with, and we've since forged a pretty good friendship. And then Darren came up with this incredible charity called Jake's Tickets, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with at this point, where Darren, there you go, thank you. Darren is going to buy a pair of season tickets every year, and every game he'll be donating those tickets to some other less fortunate children who otherwise wouldn't be able to attend National Hockey League games. Jake, as you may know, is the name of Darren's son, and the coolest part of this whole thing is that Darren, at some point when he believes Jake is old enough to get it, is going to bring Jake along to the Children's Hospital or to the Big Brother's office or whatever it is, and have Jake hand the tickets to the kids themselves, which, you know, is another nice touch as well. So just another huge magnanimous effort on the part of Darren. And so we at Sleeman Breweries wanted to make sure that we put forth a little bit of effort towards that. So we want to present Darren with this check for $500 for Jake's Tickets. And if we're fortunate enough to be one of the partners of the Jake's Tickets events moving forward, we'd only be too proud. Thanks, Darren.
This is what my paycheck looks like every other week, so it's not that big deal. We wish, right? We all wish the checks look like this. You know, I think, first of all, what 12-pack are we all buying next weekend when we want to go to the cottage? Sleeman jumped on board with this a long time ago, but of course we had to wait to get a team to throw this party. So, this is very touching because. First of all, tell your friends to keep coming tonight. The night is not over, so let's reach this goal. I keep hearing people tell me that the NHL is too pricey for people. Well, if I can send 40 more kids to NHL hockey, then that's 40 less kids, and it's too pricey for it. So let's try to meet the goal, guys. Thanks again. Thanks to Sleeman Breweries for that. By the way, the season ticket count so far, I'm not sure if you guys know this, 7,148. Not even open to the general public yet. That happens at noon tomorrow. Drive to 13.com is our website. Jim Ludlow, who is the president over at True North, humbly was suggesting today to me on 92 City FM that they could reach the goal of 13,000 by 2 p.m. tomorrow. Fuck Gary Bettman.